Greetings, ladies, gentlemen, and others. I am the Guardian.
And I'm your professor.
And we apologize that we're not that loud for this one, considering that, well, it's...
almost 12 a.m.
Yeah, it's almost 12 a.m., and his folks are in the other room, so we're just going to be ever as quiet as possible, but the entertainment freak, our friend Tyler, is not with us today due to family matters, which might have to find a couple of old episodes of that show. But this is not what I expected for a me and you podcast, Tristan, because I originally made plans that we would discuss the Power Ranger series from the original series through the Zordon era, beyond that with the post-Zordon era, and then towards the Disney era, and then the Neo-Saban era, ending with Ninja Steel. But, well, after everything that happened today, we really didn't feel like talking about Power Rangers.
Yeah. Building furniture for roughly 3 or so hours will do that for you.
Yeah. You gotta pause that, right?
It's muted.
Oh, I see. But yeah, it all started when, well, you were probably awake around the same time I was, but we ended up, we were supposed to meet up, but you were elsewhere taking care of a few things, and I ended up having to go and take care of a few things myself. And then a couple of calls happened, and what I ended up doing afterwards, we didn't actually get started until around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, but we were helping put together furniture for your folks.
Yep.
There was a total of 5 different things. I think
we got 4 of them done.
4 of them done, which took about 6 hours, I'd say. 6 hours. We wrapped up around 7, so maybe 5.
5.
Yeah, about 5 hours. And,
I can't believe it took that long.
Yeah, it did, though. We got the bookcases, drawers put together, and we got, glass cabinets.
Yep.
And
but I'm pretty sure I didn't want to hear all about that.
Yeah, right. The 5 of you probably want to hear whatever I put in the title for this video, which I'm not sure what I'll put in there, but...
Who were those mystery men?
Is that what I should call it?
I don't see why not.
I was just going to call it Professor and Guardian's Excellent Misadventure. But yeah, try not to be too loud. But we, instead of discussing Power Rangers, we instead, around 8 o'clock, we went and got some pizza, watched a couple episodes of what's that show on Netflix that I got to watch now? Agresco. I'm going to add that to my Netflix queue. And then after that, we watched 1999's Mystery Men. So we're probably just going to discuss our thoughts relating to that. When we actually, if we're talking about it like this, should we even bother with a movie review in the end?
Yeah, I wouldn't really call it a movie review because...
There is quite a bit to discuss with this movie, though.
Yeah.
And it was very funny. First, start off with a couple of facts that you told me about it. It was the very first appearance of All-Star by Smash Mouth.
Yes, it actually is. People think it's Shrek, but no. Matter of fact, some people think it's Shrek, some people think it's a Digimon movie, but no, it was Mystery Men.
Oh, I keep forgetting that Digimon movie, because that was like 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it was before the millennium started.
It was actually the very last superhero movie of the millennium.
Yeah. How many guys would some of these people recognize in this movie?
Let's see.
Right off the bat, Kel Mitchell, if you've watched Kenan and Kel, or if you're just a fan of a guy who loves orange soda.
Ben Stiller, if anyone's watched the Zoolander movie.
Or Madagascar, or literally anything Ben Stiller's in, really.
Yep.
Although I think most people tend to go to
Hank Azaria is recognizable to those who are voice actor buffs because he voices 1/3 of the cast of The Simpsons.
Yeah,
which is Mo Sizlak, Chief Wiggum, and I think Ned Flanders.
Right. And then there was Paul Rubens.
Yes. Pee Wee Herman.
Pee Wee Herman himself.
Yep, who also got arrested in an adult movie theater for playing with himself in public.
This is crack.
Yeah. I probably will explain it.
And then Jeffrey Rush, who you'd remember as Barbossa in the Pirates of the Caribbean films. And if you watched our Green Lantern 2011 review, you'd also know that he voiced Tomar-Re in that movie.
Yes, he did.
What a mistake he made.
But
Although, what actually is the bigger mistake, Tristan? Voicing Tomar-Re in a god-awful comic book movie, or going back to make more Pirates movies after 3?
Well, he's the only thing that made those pirate movies watchable.
Yeah, but by 5, he was an eyesore just like Johnny Depp.
It's because there was only one truly good movie, and that was Curse of the Black Pearl.
Yeah. We kind of derailed, but I would rank the pirate movies best to worst as Curse of the Black Pearl, Stranger Tides, Dead Man's Chest, The World's End, and then Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Pretty much.
Right. But
hey, matter of fact, we should do a Pirates podcast sometime.
We could.
It's actually one of my all-time favorite Disney properties.
Right, Pirates of the Caribbean, and then there's the Young Jack books that you have. We could completely make an entire thing about that.
Yes, actually.
It's amazing as we're doing a podcast, we're suddenly thinking, hey, we could also do this as a podcast. Where was this 3.5 hours ago when we were getting pizza?
Hidden underneath some fatigue.
It's amazing how motivation works.
That, plus, I told you, Mystery Men is a good rejuvenator.
It is a good rejuvenator, and that's why we're going to share it with the 5 people listening to this.
Precisely. Like, we've been talking about, like, everyone talks about superhero movies these days.
Marvel, DC.
Like, there's no question about that.
Dark horse movies like Hellboy and, well, it's been a while, but Constantine.
That's not a Dark Horse movie.
Well, no, I mean the Keanu Reeves one.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, but even then, like, talking about all this modern day crap, all this modern day stuff, which can be crap sometimes, but it just gets tiresome. With this, it was silly. It was silly, nonsensical, definitely something you couldn't really take seriously.
Yeah, I tried taking a few things seriously in this, and it just ended up making me love it even more so because of how ridiculous it inevitably was.
See?
For example, Paul Rubens, that's Pee Wee Herman, he plays a character named the Spleen. The Spleen. I'm trying to imitate his lisp, but I somehow end up going into Jar Jar Binks territory.
The Spleen.
The Spleen. There we go. And the Spleen is a character who was cursed by a voodoo witch.
A gypsy.
And so he farted and he blamed it on her, and he was forever cursed to be the one who dealt it. Amazing how he still has control over that, though. You simply pull his fingers and it releases. He has quite a bit of muscle control, which you'd think part of the whole thing would be that he can't control that. But because when you told me about that back when we were doing the Sonics and Superheroes podcast, that's kind of what I expected. Like, he wouldn't be able to control it, but he still has, like, deadly accurate flatulence. But the way they portrayed it, he looked disgusting, but his power was awesome.
Yep, a little fun fact in the actual comic books that this movie is supposed to be based on. He is actually the product he's actually, alright, how do I put this? He was actually born of 2 radioactive hippies. His parents were radioactive hippies, and because of that, he's actually able to control various acids and glues.
Huh.
Yeah. And then there's also you guys like a bit more like classical like movies are like not everyone's cup of tea, like say a movie like Pleasantville. You'll recognize William H. Macy, who plays the shoveler in this movie.
Oh yeah, I somewhat recognized that guy. I kept getting the vibe of Damien Dark from like Arrow and Legends of Tomorrow. I feel like he might be a relative of that guy. That, or it might just be him. I'm not
That's not him. He's not related to him. I know who you're talking about, but no, that's...
But you can see where I'm doing that comparison. He looks so much like him. I felt sorry for that guy when he goes home because his wife was just not supportive whatsoever.
Not at all.
And his kids, though. His kids supported him, which...
his younger boy did, that's for sure.
Yeah, which you gotta say was, honestly, pretty...
Sweet?
Pretty sweet, yeah. So, moving on with, who else? Let's talk about the Blue Raja.
Ah, yes. The Blue Raja, an effete British superhero. He is a limey Brit who flings forks of a deadly accuracy.
To which he's not able to successfully fling them accurately until he undergoes training by a character named Sphinx, to which we'll get to him much later.
Yep.
Although, I was trying to do British, but somehow I went right into Chris Hemsworth. So I'll just continue talking as Chris Hemsworth. The one thing I consistently saw with this character is that he wore no blue.
Yeah. It's all one big giant history reference.
To which I don't believe many people got that.
More than likely, no.
It's like a really, really inside joke. You know how an inside joke is like you're inside someone's house, but the inside joke is that you're inside a closet that leads down to a basement, which actually has a safe.
That's not how it works at all. That's just...
No, I'm just trying to make like a comparison. It's that much of an inside joke.
It's just more like someone who only really knows their history. It's not a joke. It's just deep in the history.
It just goes right over the head. I guess I'll just stop talking like that since we're moving on. To be fair, he wasn't really British either.
That was kind of the whole point.
Yeah, so screw you with what you were doing there. But I love Kel Mitchell in this because I like Kel Mitchell as an actor, to which I think I've only seen him in a couple of other roles besides Kel from Kenan and Kel. I know he was in a couple of Disney Channel original movies, so I think that's the only other spot I recognize him from. I don't remember what it was, but you can probably find it on his IMDb. But here, he's something of an adorable guy.
Yeah, he's easily like the youngest in this movie.
Yeah, which he acted like something like a teenager, didn't he?
That's kind of the whole point. Yeah.
Yeah. So which I do appreciate that, the way that they've tried to do that, because it looks it's really well done. And his ability, to which tell me what you told me relating to that.
His power in the movie is that he can turn invisible. But the catch is, he's only invisible when no one's looking at him and he's not looking at himself.
So it's something of a paradox in that regard. Because we do see him turn invisible in the climax, but if you can't look at yourself and no one else is looking at you, because look at it like this: if you're invisible, you instinctively want to look at your hands to see if you're invisible or not. That's the way I kind of see it. So,
more or less,
it's honestly pretty clever means to display some sort of a power, but it's equally as sort of interesting as Ben Stiller with Mr. Furious, or Roy, because I'm just going to call him Roy.
Yeah.
Because his power is superhuman strength.
Well, he's powerful from his boundless rage.
Wait, so the madder he gets, the stronger he gets?
More powerful he gets, yeah.
Hey, Hulk. you might want to talk to this guy about a copyright, because also we probably sound really bored here, but it's just because we're
trying to be courteous to all those around us at this hour. It's almost 12 a.m.
Not only that, but it's the hour itself. I think we're both tired.
Yeah, more or less.
Right, but moving on. I like Ben Stiller in this because in addition to some interesting characters, there are a few cliches that are broken here, like the loner who like runs off away from the group. We don't normally see him come back like that's usually done. The way he did it, he basically came crawling back.
He totally did. They were trying to make it sound like they just like he came back to his own thing, like he's doing them a favor.
Right. And then he has the interaction with the obligatory female character, and he instantly starts doubting his powers until the girl character gets, captured and threatened. So it's the power of love that he was able to use in the end. But Jeffrey Rush is not a very good transition, but Jeffrey Rush was fantastic in this movie. He was over the top in one of the funniest manners he could be.
And like if you like watch some of his stuff, like you see him in these days, it's kind of weird to see it. Actually, see Jeffrey Rush be over the top like that.
Yeah, because again, in Pirates of the Caribbean, he's like sort of stoic and serious. He's controlled in the way he speaks, and it's
he's like a very Camp Barbosa.
Yeah, it's jarring.
But in the best way.
It is very jarring in a very, very good way. And it's really good. I mean, how can you have a character named Casanova Frankenstein and have it not be over the top?
Yep.
And speaking of his nemesis,
Captain Amazing?
Why did I expect Captain Amazing to be a corporate sellout? Did I just have a Sixth Sense moment there?
I don't know. It's just the fact, he's Captain Amazing, and honestly,
he's amazingly a corporate sellout.
I think it's something like how you say. Oh, how do I describe this? It's like just the name alone sounds like it'd be something generic that you can just try someone try to market it as on a brand.
Right. So Captain America, it's nice, it's simple. You get a good feeling that this guy will fight for your country. Batman, it's a name that can easily strike terror into the hearts of criminals. You never expect where to find him. Captain Amazing, dude's probably covered in corporate logos like Johnny Storm and Rise of the Silver Surfer.
Which he was.
He was. He ripped off a Japanese Pepsi logo off his shoulder.
I think it was Korean.
Yeah, they have Korean characters in this, so I think it was Korean.
Then again, that's the thing. I think the whole thing about okay, yes, it's generic sounding, but it is called Champion City, so it's gonna have maybe aspects of everything and everyone.
Yeah, it sort of screams Metropolis.
It is nothing but a metropolis.
That's basically it. Yeah, because a metropolis is like a union of a city, like a bunch of different things, like
of the metro. Yeah.
Right. Metro and Chronopolis and Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. That's what Kang calls the different time periods meshed together in one city.
Weird how that works.
Yeah.
But
it's just Opolis. Is it the Opolis part?
I think it's the Opolis part.
Maybe. All right, continue though. I apologize for interrupting you.
No, you're fine. But yeah, it's just kind of telegraphed, but in the best way. it's like it's a superhero movie you can watch, while having like getting like pointless debates about like who's best and something like that. It's just one of those things you just cannot take seriously, and if you do, you probably don't have much of a life.
Yeah, you really shouldn't take this seriously, and it's really interesting how they do this, because it's very tongue-in-cheek, geeky, classic comic book style.
Well,
Even some of the angles are done like certain panning shots. You can easily freeze frame a number of these shots, and they would fit perfectly like a comic book panel.
Yeah, but that's also the kind of thing about this is because one half of the script writing team for this movie, well, is actually the guy who actually created the characters to begin with.
So that, in a way, is very, very helpful. Now, what else? Let's see.
Well, a little bit of history about the Mystery Men right here.
All right, go right ahead.
All right, the Mystery Men is actually a superhero team that first guest starred because they weren't even the main characters in their own series. They were actually a team that was featured in the main hero series, and not gonna believe who it's called.
Who?
Flaming Carrot.
What?
The Flaming Carrot. It's a guy in a white turtleneck with blue pants, green flippers, and he wears a giant helmet that covers up his entire head, and it's like roughly like almost like the entire size of his body, and it's on fire. And he's a superhero called the Flaming Carrot.
Okay.
And he flies around fighting crime with a jetpack and using a bazooka that fires baloney.
This sounds like the most obscure of comic books.
It really is. It was only 23 issues.
Do you have them?
I have one of them.
You cannot find the rest, can you?
Oh, I found the rest. I just need to save up more and get them.
How much are the rest?
Slightly a bit above cover price at Trilogy.
Like around $5-6 a piece?
Nearly 4.
Okay.
Yeah, because the issue I got on Free Comic Book Day
Uh-huh.
was the issue that introduced the Mystery Men.
Sign from God, man. Or sign from some omnipotent force. But moving back to that, the one...
And very few characters from the comic actually made their way into this movie. Only
6. 4.
4. Well, let's see. Mr. Furious, the Shoveler, the Bowler.
The Spleen.
5 characters.
Invisible Boy.
No.
He was made up.
You made for the movie. Alright.
That was
The
somewhat
Spleen,
well done.
the Bowler, Mr. Furious, the Shoveler, and Dr. Heller.
Oh, right.
Dr. Heller is the one who invented the baloney gun for the Flaming Carrot.
That explains its weirdness, because what else did he have in the movie? This guy was a crazy inventor. He had,
The can tornado, the flamethrower, a shrink gun based on dry clean technology.
yeah, it's an electro-nuclear magnet.
That he made out of made up Herkimer Baljitney, which is supposed to be an army tank that's non-lethal.
In case it hasn't been made clear at this point in the podcast, this is a very weird movie based off very weird characters in a very weird comic book.
Yeah, but the thing is, the Shoveler is not like he is in the movie in the comics.
What is he like?
He's just a regular guy. When during one of his digging sessions at a site that employs him, he found a powerful artifact. It was said to belong to King Arthur. It was said to be Excalibur.
And it was a shovel.
It was King Arthur's talking magical shovel.
I'm sorry. That's what?
Yeah. King Arthur's magical talking shovel.
And I thought Excalibur and Soul Eater was weird and obnoxious. Which he is. He is, but... What?
Yep.
Okay, I did a head count, and we did not talk about the bowler just yet.
Oh, the bowler's another special case. It was not like she is in the movie.
So you're saying in the comic she was not an aggressive, kind of badass woman who had a skull, the skull of her dead father, bound in a mystic bowling ball?
It wasn't Mystic. The guy at the pro shop did it, to be fair.
I call it mystic, though, because how else can she, like, how else can it fling around like Captain America's shield?
Because the ball's doing it because he's doing it on his own.
So the skull is mystic.
The skull's possessed, yeah.
Okay.
Well, haunted.
All right. Well, if she wasn't a haunted bowling ball wielding maniac, how else could she have been in the movie? In the book, how was she in the book?
A 51-year-old, middle-aged, slightly overweight divorcee who got her husband's supersuit in the divorce.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
That would have been so funny.
Yeah, a 51-year-old divorcee who got her husband's supersuit in the divorce.
What are her powers in there?
I don't know. But you know what the amazing thing about this is?
What?
Very few mystery men ever live past their first appearance.
Wow.
They are lemmings. You kill one, two more takes their place.
Hail Hydra.
Pretty much.
Wow. Okay. So let's move. We talked about all the heroes.
We did not talk about the Sphinx.
Oh, we did not talk about Sphinx. We did not. Okay. So Sphinx
is powerfully, terribly mysterious.
Terribly mysterious.
Very mysterious.
Well, how terribly mysterious is he? Oh,
terribly so.
Son of a.
But
I've gone
also,
back
he could
to talking like Chris Hemsworth.
But apparently, he can also like cut guns in half of his mind.
Yeah, we saw that in the movie. We did see that.
And we never saw it again.
No, we didn't. They just used the electronuclear magnet attached to the battle chassis, as I'm going to call it.
Yeah.
And why do I get the feeling they would have called that the battle chassis?
Might as well have been.
Might as well, yes. Okay, I've got to stop going in and out. Okay. You never really see the guy's face either.
You only see it once, and that's in the deleted scene.
It's in the deleted scene where he is apparently a bus boy at a restaurant.
It's actually not even a full restaurant, it's an eatery.
Yeah. At an eatery. And what? Any clue why they left that scene out?
I think it's because they wanted to make the Sphinx more mysterious than it.
Terribly so.
Yeah, because you don't know anything about him. As a matter of fact, the ending was slightly different in the deleted scene because instead of using the bowler's ball, they just threw a can tornado into it, and that's why you see the little tornado at the end.
Why do I get the feeling that would have worked out just as well?
Yeah, Frank could then have the whatchamacallit, the impact that it would have had. It wasn't the little sentimental thing.
Yeah, but difference being is that we only saw the tornado in a can once. That's when it was being used out on Spleen, and well, after that we got a good look with the blame thrower and the shrinker gun, both used in the
in his lab.
In the lab, it was used in battle, and that's literally the only time we saw those. But they at least came back. It honestly would have made sense if they had gone back and used the tornado in a can, at the end of the movie too.
Yeah, well, it was still great.
It was great. Quickly go back and to Captain Amazing. Some of the
Greg Kinnear.
Some of the other villain names that he dropped sounded like they would have been really interesting villains.
Deathman.
Yeah, Deathman.
Armor Gizmo. Apocalypta.
Yep. And then, but they, with all those, they settled on Casanova Frankenstein, the most silly sounding of them all.
Father Doom.
Father Doom, yeah.
I can see it as like
Victor?
some kind of. I can kind of see that as like
Victor Von Doom.
No, some kind of Catholic priest, a man of the cloth, just doing villainous stuff.
Oh, okay. Tyler, if you're listening to this, I can't remember the dude's name from Fate, but that guy. Moving on. He'll probably get a good laugh out of that. But yeah, that was a very interesting movie. I know we ended up just spoiling a lot out of this movie so far, but should we mention that our misheroes actually kill the main hero?
We just mentioned it, but can we just agree how much of a tool Captain Amazing is?
Captain Amazing is a tool. In fact, he fell for one of the many traps that he should have seen coming by Casanova Frankenstein.
With that kind of history, and did not see that one coming. Yeah,
it's quite amusing, isn't it?
Easily. Oh, how about the fact that he basically helped get this dangerous criminal mastermind released from a mental home.
Oh yeah.
From an asylum, mind you, just because there was no one else left to fight.
Yeah,
he was just doing it for publicity and sponsorship
and his own ego.
Yep.
Yeah, which you'd think would be an interesting angle that Captain Amazing would become the villain of the story. But no, he just ends up dead.
Yeah.
I kind of expected Captain Amazing to turn out to be the villain in the end.
No,
but I don't think
jackass.
I don't think that it was trying to be that edgy and whatnot.
But he is a tool. He's a tool to the so-called fans. Like when you push that guy in a wheelchair, after getting a publicity photo.
And he ended up knocking some little kid's head.
Yeah. Because he just wanted to get an autograph or something.
And the most emotion he gave was when he learned about his Pepsi sponsor no longer supporting him.
Yeah, his sponsorship with Pepsi falling through.
Yep. Yeah, but this was overall a good movie. It was good, it was weird, it was great, and I need to get myself a copy of it.
Great soundtrack too. As I said before, this movie is your origin of the song All Star by Smash Mouth.
Yeah. And it's now 12 o'clock at night, pretty much exactly. So apologies, ladies and gentlemen and others, but this exactly has not been the longest podcast. I honestly expected a lot more from what we would have ended up doing, but there was just so much going on today that it ended up not being the best.
Yeah.
But at least we got a good amount of stuff taken care of today, and we had a great time watching and talking about the movie. Yeah, and before any of you think this, today was the only day we could have done this because we both have work tomorrow, and if we had gotten together to do it Sunday, it would have been late.
More than likely.
Yeah, so just take it from us that this was the best we could do, and we hope you enjoy it regardless. So, any clue what we'll end up doing next week?
Not whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't know either. We'll probably talk it over with Ty and all that.
So I guess we could do Pirates.
We could try Pirates, yeah. So, yeah, I want to call it quits for tonight.
Yeah, I think that'll be best for all parties involved.
Right. Well, thank you guys to the 5 of you who watched or listened to this. We haven't been saying this at the end of the podcast so far, and we probably should start doing so. please subscribe if you haven't already. Because of YouTube's algorithm, we need to start reminding you to do so, because sometimes it unsubscribes you, or sometimes the buttons get a bit messed up. So if you haven't subscribed already, please do.
Apocalypse isn't helping much either.
Yeah, but subscribe. It really helps us out. And if you want to keep up to date on any future videos, including podcasts, please hit the little bell icon. And we hope to hear from you guys in the future as well. We're working on getting a social media thing taken care of so that we can actually set up Q&As and all that, because not many of you use the comment section, aside from calling us or calling me, and specifically, a moron. But we'll let you know once that takes off, and we'll at the time of this recording. Have a good night, ladies, gentlemen, and others. So once again, I am the Guardian.
And the Professor.
And we wish you all adieu.
Good night, sleep tight.
And do not let the bed bugs bite. I've suffered that horrible fate. Oh, and don't let the roaches bite.
Ugh. I don't have to worry about that ever again.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Later.